Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, Focus on Marriage and Family. My name is Jambi or Sylvia Ukipenda, and this is the channel that brings you different issues surrounding young marriages. Focus on marriage and family, yes. And one of the things you guys have been asking me to do is to bring men to the channel. Trust me, it's not been easy, and I am so happy that I actually got 3 gentlemen to come onto the channel to speak to us. Or rather, we are just going to have a chat about marriage. What are these things that, they hope for? What is it like? We're going to give examples, and I just want it to be fun. So I hope you guys are going to watch to the end. And this video is courtesy of Dave Cinematography. By the way, that word... Yes, but Dave Cinematography, yes. They are in Westlands Brick Court, so if you'd like any, to do your events, to do your weddings, I mean, you know where to go. Yes, you can look them up on Instagram or on their Facebook page. So karibuni sana, and I want to introduce my guests. Rather, I want them to introduce themselves.
Hi, my name is Eli. I'm really happy and excited to be on this show today. Thank you very much. I appreciate. I'm married to one wife and 2 kids, Alice and Allison, and my wife is called Edna Kirago. Thank you very much.
Asante sana bwana Eli. Right. My name's Mark Kamau. Kipenda. No, I will keep my nickname for myself. I'm married to one wife, Clara Waboy. Blessed with 3 children, Shiro, Ngendo, and Kamau. Thank you for having us, and we hope you'll have fun here.
Thank you so much for having us, Lai. My name is George, married to Jean. I have 2 children, that's Shiro and Kemani, and we're excited to be here. This is brilliant, yeah. And we're anticipating the conversation, and yeah. So thank you so much.
I think one of the things that has been on my mind recently is expectations.
Yes.
Yeah. I recently did a video with some 2 ladies, and I think we discussed expectations. And wow, it was heated when, we could remember where we've come from in marriage. And we just realized that when we got married, there were so many expectations that we had.
Yeah.
I think I gave an example. Like for me, I expected my hubby to pick me up from everywhere, literally. No, there's that treatment that you guys give us when we are when we are dating, So by the way,
ground,
different. Yes, because but then it's different, and I agree because yeah. So, but I often think it's because we place our expectations just too high, and it's not really that. I read somewhere actually that love, when you're dating. There's a way to continue, like you can take your wife on holiday, or like you can do those extravagant things for your wife, and when you get married, the deeds that you will do for your wife may reduce, but it doesn't mean that the love has become smaller.
No.
Like if for me I went home and Davis has done the dishes, then for me, I'll be so happy.
Yes.
Yeah. And for me, that's, it's a small gesture, but
it
really means a lot,
yes.
But when you're dating, you're expecting more. Yeah. So there's that, but nataka kusikia. Do you guys have expectations? Because see, tuko na mob. Do you guys have expectations?
Well, it appears, let me tell you, it appears like we never have expectations. That is the view from, I believe, from the ladies' perspective, yeah? But we actually do have expectations, yeah? Just that at times we feel like our expectations are too hard, like they're hard hitting, right? And so we tend to just cover ourselves into a shell and okay, yes, we have expectations, but our expectations don't appear to be expectations. They appear to be like commands, and so we decided, okay, let's just tone down and let's just deal with the expectations from one side. I think it is easier without dealing from both ends, and we have expectations, definitely. Mark, I don't know if you.
Hey, Aparas Junior Nziapi. By the way, expectations are there. I think for anyone who's an adult, will always have something he's hoping for or want to.
Right.
So expectations are there. I think the question is how you manage expectations. Because as I said, as the common phrase goes, vitu kwa ground ni different. Right. And for other reasons, Like I like the example you're giving, like you expected Davis to be picking you up at every other time, wherever you are, without, you know. But things are different because of one or two things that can't happen. And you have to understand that, all right? So our expectation starts from, I think, even when you're courting.
Yeah.
When you're courting, you're thinking, now I'm getting married. Of course, as a man, you're thinking now, okay, fine. As a man, what am I expecting from my wife? Will she be the one, you know, serving me all these meals every morning? Will she be the one? Yeah.
I think we need to get into that.
When she comes home, things are different. You get?
Yes.
So this is trying to, they're there, but how you
Manage
them, I think, are the ones. I think it's a bigger question. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
Okay.
Ali, I don't know if.
I think expectations have changed over time.
Yeah.
They have evolved. Because I remember when my father would say something, it would pass.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it happened even before my father's time. I think over time, I think we've westernized our marriages so much.
This is my movie.
Yeah, the movies have taken play, and yeah, exactly. Until to a point where, you know, expectations have changed in our homes, and men feel like, you know, now because I don't want to have fights and quarrels all the time, let me, as you said in an earlier conversation, that a guy had to lower his expectations to zero. I would say he lied to himself, because there's no man who has no expectations. For you to say you lowered the expectations to zero, that means you're like, you know what, let me just deal with it. But at the end of the day, I feel like it's not the right thing, because soon the guy might blow up and be like, you know what, I'm done, I'm fed up.
Right.
Yeah.
That point also comes into play. Yeah.
Let me ask you guys.
Yeah.
When you get married,
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
of course we make you guys these nice meals.
Exactly.
You know,
Of course.
Yeah. In fact,
Yeah.
my friend, before she got married,
Yeah.
I used to nilikuwa namwambia those two meals naonanga akimake hapo sijui stir fried what. Yeah. So I'm just waiting for the day ata stock freezer yake na njahe na ndengu and all those things, you know. But I always, you know, as guys sometimes, okay, we sometimes we are tired, and of course we come from work, and of course sometimes you're not able probably to make that meal for your husband as much as you may want to, because children come into play.
Exactly.
You know, do you guys always expect that we will cook for you, like, you know, till like forever, like ni sisi tuko kitchen? Does it make a difference? Ama nyusikia vibaya juu kuna venye kuna kuanga na ni kama mnasikia vibaya, but okay, because mnajifanya mna understand, you know. Do you feel bad that we are not making you guys, you know, these meals, especially when we can't because of the children?
Okay.
Yes.
Let me just say that. As guys grew up, we were 9 kids in our home. And I remember my mom would come from work, and every day she had to ensure that the meals are done.
Yeah.
She used to go to the kitchen and prepare what is there.
She used to do the meals herself.
herself.
Every single day.
Yeah, I remember that very well. So when I say those kind of things, and she used to ensure she's there. Actually, my mom used to be almost the last guy to sleep. Unfortunately, nowadays the ladies go to bed earlier
Yeah.
and leave the house helps in the kitchens. They don't even know in
It's a
the
sad
morning.
situation.
Then they get themselves surprised in the morning. Kwani ya kutengeneza vyombo? Kwani ya kufanya? And I'm like, hey, anyway. She used to come and ensure all that stuff is done, and everything is. But then now, when you raise such kind of, you say, hey, but my mom used to do all this. You know what they say? They say something
days.
like, these are different days. This is a
This
new
era,
era.
yeah.
So, and that's why I said my point was, I feel like over time these expectations has lowered its standards,
Yeah.
and that's why I feel a lot of guys there are a lot of issues happening in the home because of. I feel like I like this topic. Expectations
Yeah.
are not being met,
Yeah.
or rather, people are just saying, you know what, I'll substitute this not met need
Yeah.
with something else.
And can we marry these two? Can we say expectations and duties are they the same thing? Expectations and duties.
It falls into play because you know
We
expectations
have
are-
the duties we're expecting from them. I mean,
No, no, what about physical
or am I
expectations?
confusing?
Let me weigh in something. I like what Mark has brought up. Yeah, you know what has happened is what we see as duties, women see as expectations from us.
Exactly.
You get it?
You get.
Yeah.
I
You see,
think so.
there is some duties women are
Ought to have.
ought to be having. You know, like you mentioned a very important one, like cooking, right? When we grew up, yeah, the house help never served my dad. The house help never, even at one point, cooked for my dad, right? So what happened is,
You took that as a duty.
my mom took that as her personal duty to do that, right?
Yes.
If the house help, because we had house help, if the house help was there, clear up, clean up, finish up, or food, I will do it. I will take care of it. My mom, I mean, we didn't even have a car for the longest time when we were growing up, and she would come all the way from work and walk like probably 3-4 kilometers, come home, set up, kwanza amepitia soko. Akuja na kiondo amebeba. Akuja weke atoe veggies nini.
Nyanze.
My kids need to eat. We were about 9, Ellie said, about 9, 11 in the household. And she would set up the meal and she would sit there and relax. You know? But now for us guys, it has, like he said, like we're in a different era. Yet still, we're still expecting those things to do what? To happen. Because they are ingrained in us. They're ingrained in us, yeah? But this whole reality of equality is what has brought up the difference now. Like, I would expect my wife to make me a good meal. I like how she cooks. I like her food. It's delicious. But you cook me a meal from the a house help comes and cooks for me a meal, I will not eat it. As in, for me in my household, I really don't eat the house help's food. As in, that's a reality. I expect her to make for me a meal. And it's not an expectation out of, oh, it's hard head, go make a meal and serve me. No, it's, I love your food. I love your meals. I love how you cook.
It's not the negative.
Because you put a whole thought into it, thinking into it, and everything is just working. But on the other side, on the flip side, women would see it as a command. But that's still, it's not a command. It's because that's what we feel comfortable doing. I remember
it's part of the love language, actually.
We had the same conversation with Mark the other time, and he tells me, he was like, hey man, I can't remember the last time I ever even ate a meal that's not cooked by my wife. You know? And I mean, it's true. We have those expectations. We expect a meal. It's just a meal. Yes, we've come home, we're tired. Even ask me, help me, give me a hand here. We don't mind giving a hand, you know, and that's what we are looking at.
Just to add on to that, I think the way of communicating these expectations is what I think really again matter, because again in this union to stay,
it's not going anywhere.
There's no. I remember on our counseling sessions when we have those separate counseling sessions and all that. Our pastor was called Pastor Odhiambo, is called Pastor Odhiambo because he's still. He gave us a session where we were separated, and that hard question came, which was, "Are you sure you want this?" Because there's no backtracking. There's no. I mean, it's you're in and you're in until death you part. I was like, yeah, I'm good. But before I answered that question, it had some weight on it. Like, when you're actually thinking about it, it's a heavy question. So fast forward, bring that into your marriage. So the way of communicating, I think, our expectation, stroke duties to the ladies, is that. As in, I think the communication way is what really matters. Like George says, and like, okay, I want to count myself lucky. In my house, it's my wife who always serves me. And now, why I'm bringing this up is because probably on my growing up, as Ellie has said, I've always seen my mom doing that to dad. So it becomes an expectation automatically. Like, I like the setup. Mom does this to mom. So it sinks into you without even you knowing. It's now when you're getting married, this is what you expect. But again, you don't know where your lady has come from.
You can't.
There's that as well.
We can't deny the fact that we are from
different setups.
Different setups, yes.
So your madam has come from a different setup, probably not a very good family setup, just to say, and things look on it different. So probably what she's doing at your place, if not properly communicated, then there'll be a very big clash.
Yes.
there's one thing I used to tell, and I tell young guys before they even get married. When you're dating and when you're courting, do you guys always talk about expectations? A lot of guys fall in love,
Yeah.
and they remove the expectations and all these things that add up into that. Do you guys talk about what, as a guy, I'd love my wife to do for me,
Yeah.
or what I'd love my wife to do, or my husband to do for me, and you have deep conversations and look into it and see if it's realistic or not, and get to look at the background. Another thing I came to learn before I married my wife, I went to my wife's place and I used to see how the mother treats the dad, and I feel like that thing didn't fall so far from the tree. The apple didn't fall far from the tree, and you'd look at okay, even in Akuanga, and if you look at a lot of guys who have challenges in their marriages in regards to expectations, ask them. I had a friend of mine who used to say, unajua na huyu dem kabla ni mari, unajua madhake nilikuwa nasikia kirudishianga babake.
Oh yeah.
And then this guy is going through the same thing.
It was in the family.
It's going
it
through
was
the same thing.
kawaida. She's been brought up as.
That's what she's seen growing.
Yeah.
So and I feel like those things can change if you guys decide to work as a team. But as you said, a lot of guys feel like these duties are to bring me down as a woman, and this thing
you
for
take it in the
women
wrong way.
empowerment as well has come as a big deal. Has played a big role. What you can do, I can do better, and all those things. I'm also coming from work the same way you're coming from work. I'm also providing the same way you're providing. I'm also playing a part in bringing this home together. And when I remember the story of Margaret Thatcher, when she said when the flag would go, that's how actually the history of the flag going down. Well, immediately the flag would go down, she becomes a wife in her home, the queen. So that's what we expect in a home. I don't think men's expectations really go far and beyond.
No.
A man never expects that your wife will come and pick him from work or take him to the barber to get a haircut, or maybe ensure his hand. Hey, your pedicure is not good. Can I take you to the no? I think we are more logic.
Yeah.
We want maybe a warm meal, well presented. We want our shirts ironed well. We want just simple, basic. But then they come out like we are trying to make you feel like that house help. That's my opinion.
Wow. Okay. Actually, yeah. Anyway, when you spoke about food and being served, actually, and I think you guys are right, because even when I grew up, like I saw my mom treat my dad like a king. I saw my mom serve my dad food, etc. And so yes, it has a lot to do with also the way you've grown up.
Yeah.
And the other thing, I feel as though it really motivates the woman when your food is appreciated.
Yes.
That's what I've learned. And I think I say this also for the viewers, especially because I think it's a tip for the man. Yeah. From a lady's perspective, that when I make a meal and you eat na una act nika hakuna kitu umefanya, yani unaenda, you just it's her duty anyway. I think it's demotivating. But the moment you eat a meal and you really, you're like, wow, hey, babe, that food was nice. Sometimes maybe it wasn't even as nice.
Yeah, we do that a lot.
You do that a lot. Yeah? Yes.
Even men would be happy if every time the rent is paid, the wife would always say, umelipa hii rent vizuri sana.
You have worked hard.
This umelipa hii rent vizuri sana.
Umelipa hard.
Oh my God, yes, but that's true. I think the issue appreciation. I feel as though this happens a lot, that we expect that the men, our husbands, are going to pay the rent, pay the bills, pay for the elek, nini. Ukisikia tu ka elek kakifanya tu titi, uko tu babe, nasikia nika inalia hiyo kitu.
Hiyo ni stima mna reverse.
Then anakuambia ndio hiyo token lipa, and then you go on with your life. So I feel as though appreciating is important, and that's what really drives us to do better.
Yes.
But I have firsthand, I've experienced when my food is appreciated, you know, I
Or
cook,
you want
I
to go
will
back to
do
that
it
kitchen.
even, yes, I want to
Exactly.
go back, I
To
want
that.
to, you know, cook for my husband, yes.
Yeah.
But, and so I think men should probably do it more. And
Yeah.
the women, meskia, yes, we need to tell these guys, we need to appreciate them from time to time. You know,
Yeah.
I think it helps a lot.
Yeah.
And there's something he brought up, you know, about, you know, the way we grow up and what we've seen, etc. How do you communicate this to your wife without hurting them? Because sometimes you don't know.
Yeah.
And I've actually just thought about this as we were going along, yeah?
Let me answer you that.
Yes.
Because I think
Please.
from a personal experience.
Yes.
Now, I don't want it to sound like an advice, but it's what has worked for me.
Right.
Now you're in this marriage institution and you have that thought that you're here to stay. The best thing to do is make sure by then she's your friend. Ama he's your friend in this case.
Yeah.
Now the same way you'd communicate to your friend is the same way you'd communicate this. Because at the end of the day, it's not a competition and all that. It's just a way I can tell you, hey boss, niaje mazejo, usifanye hivi na hivi na hivi. I don't expect him to be all, we, kwani, you know, but he'll take it knowing, enyewe uni boys wangu, ananishow hivi na hivi, and, you know, and dusted. You get? So it's the same analogy now for the marriage. If
Yeah.
when you're addressing your madam, ama in this case, if your madam is addressing the husband, make it like, you know, you're addressing your pal. You know, see competition ama nini, like
Yeah.
the way he brought it up and akasema maneno
And it's not
ya
a fight.
maneno ya, and it's not a fight, maneno ya empowerment and all that. Most houses, okay, not in my house, but most houses, you find it's like a competition. If you do this, even me I can do this.
Yes.
If
Can
you
do
come
better.
at 5, I'm coming at 5:30.
Yes.
You lose the plot. You get? But if it's a hey babes, hey unatoka, hey 5, sasa acha nikupitie. Tuende home pamoja.
Right.
It's the same thing.
Yeah.
But now you're treating her as your friend. Because hata huwa tunaambiwa our young ones who come by are just visitors. After probably now 20 years, umebaki hapo tena.
Mko tu nyinyi bado.
Mko tu nyinyi tena again.
Yeah.
So that friendship, you have to invest in that friendship. And once you invest in that friendship, I think even the communications comes in very easy.
Let me weigh in a little bit on what Mark is saying. You see, whilst you said communication is very important, well, you also have to understand the background of that other person. So more often than not, we don't take keen attention to see that other person's side or perspective. You get? So you have to understand how she grew up,
Yeah.
how she
Her
was brought up,
background.
how her parents behaved, how her parents were together, how they relate one to another. And then once you understand that background, it helps you deal with your current situation. Because now you'll start seeing things not from, hey, who dem mbona na behave hivi? Yeah? Mbona nakanikana ni dharau?
You know the genesis.
But see, now you'll understand the background and you know this has been what has defined who she is. Yeah? And now you're able to help her, not from a perspective from its selfishness, but from helping her understand and seeing that point that you're trying to bring to her. Like if she's been brought up in an abusive family, the dad was abusing the mom in probably physical or emotional or whatever case, then you see that trend in her,
It might show up.
it might show up. So because she'll start having trust issues with you, and really there's nothing basically happening anyway, but because that's how she's been brought up, that's what she'll start expecting to see. Yeah. And so you help her understand that, by the way, this is a unique setup. Beyond what you've seen before, beyond what I've seen before, it's a unique setup. We make our own reality. And that happens when you're friends, as Mark said. It only happens when you guys are having a conversation. Yeah. More often than not, those conversations will always, of course, end up to be emotional and that whole roller coaster. Yeah. But we're always expecting when a man is telling you something, he's not telling you because he's trying to pump
degrade
down
you
or
and
anything. We're
authority,
actually just trying to tell you, by the way,
I'd like it better this way.
I'd like it better this way. This would make our relationship better.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to tell you that now change, don't be yourself. No, I'm just telling you, I also expect you to tell me, oh, George, by the way, I don't like when you do A, B, C, D. And I'm like, oh, really?
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, if it's what making us have a conflict, I mean, put it aside. Let's have something that would not bring conflict amidst us. Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Another thing that comes into play when it comes to expectations is external forces.
Yeah.
You know, there's this thing for Nani's home, but Nani doesn't do that. And then when I come and talk to you, when now my wife comes and talks to you, you tell him, mi niamke asubuhi, tutayarisha kila mtu ajipange, kila mtu atoke. Mi
That
usiku
works for them.
nikikuja,
Yeah.
tukuja jioni kila mtu amechoka. Mimi nilimwambia mimi asiniwekee pressure. You get what I'm saying? Yeah, nilimwambia asiniwekee pressure na imekuwa ikiwork for us. Na I understand. So you take that formula and you bring it to your home. Yeah. And you say even George's home, it doesn't work like
George
that.
is the one who cooks.
George is the one who cooks.
Yeah.
George,
He's the one who takes care of the toys.
me, I feel you don't understand me. Exactly.
Ninaingia
George,
Wewe uchenje. Anyway.
You see, such things, they fall into, they play a very big role. So, for me, I would say is that exactly what works for my husband will work for me. What works for my wife will work for me.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go looking down at and say, hey, George, hey, Georgie, hey, wife yake tukinge hivi, ni mganda, anapiganga magoti. So I expect my wife when I go home, hey, my guy. So when she serves you, you're thinking there's something missing. Please kneel down.
Please kneel down.
Yeah, exactly. Or you marry a Rwandese. You know, the Rwandese wives, I hear even sexually, they always say, you know, it doesn't matter whether you're tired or not. Be a husband. Exactly. You know, then you bring all those things and it's because you guys didn't have a formula of your own.
Yeah.
People will bring formulas from all over.
You're tapping to everything.
Math's formula, Nani's formula. And there's no way that you're going to have a solution on that. But if you guys come up with your own formula, it works better. With my wife, we sat down and we had, in the beginning, it was a challenge. I remember, on expectations. Because me, I'm from this background where my dad would say and it happens. He would cough and it happens. I remember when you were young, my dad would walk, we used to stay on second floor, and we'd hear the car coming from down the road, and we'd see that red car, and you'd go scrolling on the stairs so that he doesn't see you. And my dad never beat us even once. But what my mom took my dad for is like, do you want me to tell your dad? The thing this guy is now beat us. The day he beat us, he's gonna kill us. This guy is gonna kill us, man. Yeah. So expectations were put up so high that your dad is on the next level of respect, and which I know we'll come into later. But the expectations that we were given were so high that no one would break them. That rules came about with that. And another thing that most likely that happens is that there are no consequences to breaking these rules. When expectations are not met, what happens? You get when a child defies and you go do this and this and this, and then they don't do that. What do you normally do? You take a stroke.
Okay.
How do you deal with that situation when it's not dealt with? When you're not happy, how do you deal with it? Is there a consequence towards that? And you find a lot of guys under the carpet, and that's why you're finding nowadays marriage, it's become like a Western world. Guys are into marriage, you hear 6 months down the line,
it's not working.
It's not working. I mean, it's not working for me and my wife. Nowadays, when you hear someone tells you, "Hey, I'm considering chomoking from that thing,"
it's not a big deal.
It's not a big deal.
Yeah.
Why men cheating on their wives and women cheating on their husbands? It's because nowadays it's not a big deal. It's because of these things not being met, expectations. Yeah.
Well, by the way, we can't exhaust expectations clearly. It is
It's
such
wide.
a wide, it's very, very wide. But I think what I hear you guys saying is, of course, the communication bit, and I think it's very important.
It's important.
Yeah, and there's something I always say that I think when it's approached with patience, kindness, and love, because like for me, women, when we get married, we will, sometimes we will say things you know, just to assert yourself,
Yeah.
or so that, you know, it's because when things are not being done for you the way you expect them.
Exactly.
But I think when you approach it with patience, kindness and love, you know, when you are speaking to this guy, not like ati sasa unamwambia lazima ufanye hivi, you know, but
Ni beste
with a lot
yako.
of ni beste yako. I like that, by the way, ni beste yako. I think it's around trying to make that person your friend. Yeah, you know, and everything else just flows,
Fall into
you
place,
know.
yeah.
And there's something by the way, Eli, unajua, by the way, juu Mark, najua Mark atakuita Eli, but is it Eli, or when you introduced yourself it was Eli?
Yeah.
Okay, so ni Eli. Mark.
Let's, tubakishe tu
Mark
Eli.
ni Eli.
Tuseme Eli.
But to academy.
I'm a kill guy.
You're a kill guy.
Skuma will do.
Skuma will do.
Yeah.
So anyway, Eli, you brought something up about respect, and I really want to address that,
Yeah.
because my definition of respect is definitely different. Okay, Miss Ju, okay, mkiniuliza what respect is for me. I think number one is agreeing to be led. That's how I define it. But I
Agreeing
could be
to be
wrong.
led.
Yeah, agreeing to be led in terms of like, because most of the times our temperaments may come into play, because maybe hata kwenye uko we ni mdozi or whatever, but for me it's more around knowing that there's that authority, you know, the way there's
Yeah.
God,
Yeah.
and God has given, you know, Davis in this case the authority to lead
lead.
our home.
Yes,
you
he's the
know,
priest of your
yes,
home, yeah.
so yeah, he is the priest of the home. So it's for me agreeing that yes, he is the priest of the home, and agreeing
Accepting
to be
it.
accepting it,
And
and
following
agreeing
his ways.
yes, and following. And when you say following, of course, every time that I feel maybe we are not on the right track, approaching it, you know, like si ile naenda kumkemea ama whatever, you know, I'm respecting his opinion,
Yeah.
and saying that, you know, like this is probably, you know, how I would do it,
Yeah.
etc. I think it's accepted. For me, that's what respect
Which
is.
is okay.
That's how I would define, you know, that I respect this guy. Yeah, but I don't know. By the way, as I said, sijui
Okay,
yeah.
let me, if I can come in.
Yes.
Now, men, for who, okay, as a man does not know what love is. Or rather, respect equals love
For man, yeah, exactly.
for a man.
For man.
Like, let's say now, I hope I'll communicate this well. I'm saying, for example, and that's why we have cases of where you find married men going in for, falling in for house helps
And secretaries.
and secretaries and all that. Why? It's because of the respect probably her situation is making her have for the boss, for example. You get, this is the lady who will open that gate even if this guy comes in at 2. This man will translate that respect to love. And huyu aniheshimu, na huyu, you know, man does not have a love. I don't know if
But then let me give sorry, I'll give I remember there's a guy we knew, he loved his wife. Definitely when they were marrying, definitely they loved each other.
yeah.
And they got kids, and
Yeah.
they had those three kids. Our neighbor, the one who moved to-
Yeah.
So eventually, this guy, the wife used to be those guys for, you know, they used to always having these exchanges all the time, and the house help used to meet his expectations for the guy
Yeah.
and respect the man. So
Like
if
you come home drunk.
he'd come home drunk,
It's a house help.
it's
who
a
will
house help
the
who will
gates,
open,
prepare the
clear
food.
the guy,
Yeah.
take him to the seat, prepare his nyama,
Yeah.
whatever that is there.
Yeah.
The wife is in the bedroom sleeping.
Yeah.
And then do everything that ought to be done. And in the morning, likewise, who's bringing food to the table? The house help. And who's ensuring these guys' clothes are being they're ironed, and after after
help.
falling on the road and stuff, and on the matope has been made and fixed, the house help.
Probably even cleaning him up.
Exactly, and even carrying him all the way to his bedroom.
Yeah.
So eventually, this guy realized, Allah, this is the wife that I need in my life.
Yeah.
I think at 50, yeah.
Not even that. You know that guy, and he was wealthy. He left all the property for the
All
wife.
of them.
So it was not
Like for the wife.
So it wasn't about the
It's
money.
not about the money.
Yeah.
He left the property for the wife.
Wow.
He bakisha kidogo. He left with that help.
Yeah.
And went and built a new home with the help.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ushago.
Let's start
As
at-
in
let's
this.
start-
Let's
Let's
start
start our
at-
life.
Yeah.
This guy we're talking with 50. His kids are at that time
Grown up.
They were grown
Yeah.
ups. They were more than 35 years old. Probably
Older
now
than
the
us,
kids are
yeah.
now 45 and stuff,
Yeah.
and 50. But this guy at the age of 55, he remarried, the house help, they have kids, and their life is going on. Exactly what Mark is saying.
Yeah.
What was this guy looking for? All his and that's what it brings down. Marries that point I was saying. Throwing things under the carpet for a very long time, eventually realize what? I'm out.
Yeah. So men, love equals respect. So we really treasure respect. And what is respect for a man? Respect is just to probably now meet these expectations or duties in a good way.
It marries.
I think I've tried to put it
let
simple.
me highlight it from a different perspective. I like Mark's point for respect equals love, but I also want to say that
You don't like my point? Okay.
I like Ellie's point as well.
Thank you.
But let me tell you, respect is earned.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now this is where there's a game changer. Yeah. I think this is what I've learned over the past couple of years. Whilst respect is earned, yeah, it is upon me, yeah, to have my wife, yeah, respect me, not by forcing her, but I have to be that man that she desires to respect.
Yes.
By how I carry myself. Let me give an example. You see, in biblical times, in the Old Testament times, yeah, just generally, just that whole old times, the reason why even our fathers were so revered and respected by their wives is because they held a certain position in their homes. They were the men. Yeah, like we recently went for a function and we were men seated round like this, and women, and it was a Rwandese culture. Women did not show up even once. Yeah.
They
did. Actually, they say even a lady passing by there, it might be she's trying to communicate something.
Yes.
So they didn't even. There's no women just passing by, crisscrossing every time or crossing like that. They were put up into one area. Men sat in one section, and we had our conversation. We discussed. All they did is they came, said hi, went back. You know, and it's because they have highly esteemed their men.
Culture.
But you see,
and not to worship them, but because that's the position that God essentially has given them. That is very biblical, right? So if the man is the head of the household, respect doesn't mean like I order you around and you go like, oh, okay, sir, let's go, let's move on. No. That's not respect. That's something else different. But respect is, I see who this man really is. He's God-fearing. He's leading my family well. He's taking care of this family. He's providing for this family.
I like that.
Yeah. You know, providing again is a topic.
It's relative.
It's relative. Because you see, nowadays women are the ones who are earning right here. Men are the ones who are just right here because the society is favoring them, right? But
like this show,
because this man has taken responsibility, let's say this man has taken responsibility of the family.
Into his hands.
Not necessarily providing for everything, every single thing that they're doing, but he has taken responsibility. It is due to the wife to respect that man because of who he basically is. Right? And that brews a common ground where now we can have a communication channel. I like how the Bible used to do. Like, yes, they could have a conversation, wife to husband, husband to wife, right? But the final decision would always land on what the husband
has said.
And the wife would respect that decision, not because she feels she's been stepped on or anything, but she feels
come from the authority point
because this guy is God-led, he's God-fearing, he has our best interest at heart. You see, we always forget that relationship is not about me or about you. It's about us. It's about how do we grow and become better. And it's not always the case because you find men who are not God-fearing. So you find their decision-making is not God-led. And so that's where now that conflict comes in. So my point is, as men, we must become those men that our wives would like
to respect.
Yes. You know? I mean, there's no way you're going to come back home at 2 a.m. every day or come back home every day at whatever wee hours you're going to come. And then you're asked drunk and then probably
you expect your
wife to we expect her to be, fruits of the Holy Spirit.
patience,
patient, you
kind,
know, all those kind.
loving.
But then, on that note, it can't be now part of your character.
Yeah.
You have to have that thing for, you know, feeling that, you know, you need to earn this respect from this lady. And then in the morning when you're asked, hey, by the way, we don't have some tunes for bread, can you give me some tunes for bread? Or the shopping is over, we need to go for shopping. Then you say, hey, I don't have money. And then yesterday you were drinking. And you expect the same lady to come and respect you.
Yeah.
Or,
Priorities are wrong.
yeah, because your priorities are wrong. But then we are talking on a point of view where the standard of a man earning his respect is there. This guy does everything he ought to be done, and it's being done. He's delivering on at his home, in all aspects, you know. But then now you find a lot of people also feel like, you know, even me, I'm tired. I'm feeling, you know. I remember that lady we grew up with, the youth leader, Don. Then the guy didn't have a job. And then when the lady got a job, she was earning, and it was like back in the day, we're talking about like 2000s and all that. And this lady earned 250,000. It's like earning 800 G's now.
Yeah.
And this lady came, now the guy is one was telling us, the paycheck could check in on an 8th, or say on the 31st. And on the 31st, the same day, there was a transfer to the guy's account.
Every single bit of it.
Not at
By the way,
partially.
this is a true story.
We're talking about true story.
Yeah. In
All
Kenya.
that money would come in, check in to the husband.
Yeah.
And until the guy got he started earning,
Yeah.
and the same applied. Until the husband had tell him, now you know we can open a joint where.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of ladies will say even the man can do the same. You know, why don't
He'd
men?
even portion for her pocket money.
Imagine,
out of her
yeah,
own
that's what
money.
used to happen. Yeah.
Because now he's taking
Now,
that
yeah, he'd now come
responsibility.
and do the budgeting for the house, and
Yeah.
it's because this lady felt like this guy earned my respect.
Yes.
You know, the respect is there. I respect that he's not gonna go. I'm not gonna give him a 250K, and then I find him on Sport Pesa or you know, betting. Sorry to say Sport Pesa, but betting or buying guys nyama choma and all those things. You know, she knew this guy would ensure this money is well spent for the home.
Yeah. True.
Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, I've been listening to you guys. By the way, no, hey.
Unalan.
Hizo points.
Men are not hard.
Yeah, you guys are not.
complicated.
You guys are not complicated, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not. When